It's time for Breaking the News. I am Jenna Shortle. We start our show tonight with the growing humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Kids, families dying of starvation. And today, for the first time, President Donald Trump saying there is real starvation there. His comments come amid growing global outrage as videos and photos show desperate Palestinian civilians running after food drops, scrambling to get something for their families. Now, groups here in Minnesota are pushing for action right now. Here's Kent.
Despite resumed airdrops of humanitarian aid and a so-called tactical pause by Israel to allow for more food deliveries to parts of Gaza, the realities of starvation have hit home across the region.
I'm a Palestinian from Gaza that has lost over 35 family members.
And right here in Minnesota.
My maternal grandmother was malnourished. She died without medical care.
Just last week, my wife lost her mother, her sister, two of her sister's children, 5 and 7 years old.
Jihad Adwai is among several people joining with CARE Minnesota in hopes of raising awareness of the widespread starvation. The UN now says about a third of Gazans are going without food for days at a time, but it's a claim Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continues to deny.
There is no policy of starvation in Gaza, and there is no starvation in Gaza.
And we have to get the kids fed.
President Trump is now breaking from Netanyahu, saying the U.S. will set up food centers in Gaza and work with European nations to address the crisis.
That's real starvation stuff. I see it. And you can't fake that. So we're going to be even more involved.
When the president admits there's something, we expect actions. We don't just need words, because talk is very cheap, but we need action, and action now, because this is a dire situation that must end.
That's why he and CARE Minnesota are now asking everyone to urge their lawmakers to follow through on the president's promise.
This is a moment right now where people have to come together and say, not on our watch, that we will see children and mothers die because they cannot eat.
Food is not to be used as a weapon.
Rabbi Marcia Zimmerman, senior rabbi at Temple Israel in Minneapolis, is among a group of Jewish leaders also calling for action. A new statement from the Union for Reform Judaism calls for more distribution channels and safe sites for food, water, and medical supplies in Gaza, writing, starving Gazan civilians neither will bring Israel the total victory over Hamas it seeks, nor can it be justified by Jewish values or humanitarian law. It's hard to imagine that this tragic approach will bring home the 50 remaining hostages, including the 20 who we pray are still alive.
As a religious leader, we have to be guided by peace and the hopes that we can bring the best minds, the best hearts together rather than division.
President Trump got specific with his plan today, saying the U.S. will set up food centers in Gaza without boundaries or fences. Both CARE Minnesota and Rabbi Zimmerman say that's something the U.S. has tried and failed to do in the past. So Jihad said he simply hopes the U.S. works with groups already on the ground that have food ready, but just can't get it into Gaza and operate safely. Jana.
Yeah, that's the key. There were food distribution sites that were working better at the beginning of the year up until March. And so is that what Jihad is talking about? Just go back to the people that knew how to do it in the first place?
Yeah, he said UNICEF, others on the ground simply haven't been able to get supplies. Many of them have been backlogged in Egypt, not able to get through. They said thousands of loads are simply there. There's even food. They just can't get it in.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see some action on that sooner rather than later. Can't we? Thank you.